Hi guys. Anyway, I'm Trinity. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching. So, choosing your tarot decks. I had done a video earlier on choosing your tarot decks, okay? And I was going over some styles of tarot decks that there are out there today, okay? We got a variety, guys. I'm talking variety, okay? So, let's start with, how about we start with some nature-y, pagan-y, very natural decks. One of my all-time favorites, one of many readers that I know's favorites, is the Druid Craft Tarot. Okay. So, as I said in my previous video, I'm going to give you guys a little view of some of my tarot decks, but I'm just going to show you a few of the cards. This deck I did edge. Sorry, I did not color the edges. I just cut the edges because they had some white borders. A lot of people will take the names off. I didn't do that because I quite like the stone look on the bottom. Anyway, that's the Druid Craft Tarot. Next tarot deck is the Celtic Tarot. Now, there is nudity in these cards, so this is not for children. My videos are not meant for children. They are meant for an adult audience. And that's all I'm going to say about that. This is the Celtic Tarot. This is Rider-Waite inspired. However, there are some extra little additives. Whoops. And there are, and I'm going to see if I can find it for you. Some of my cards are upside down. I do apologize. Trying to find, there's a lot of nudity in here, guys, and I'm not going to show you all those cards. I don't know how YouTube will like it. I'm just trying to find a card that has one. Okay, so here we go. Oh, I'm sorry again. Can't get my shit straight, baby. See how there's a dragon in that? They're almost like creepy, some of the cards, but not all of them, but they're very nature-based. Like this one I can show you. I'm not sure with the way things are today. So it's more of like a pagan-y, nature-based deck, right? And then we have the Witch's Tarot. Not the Witch's Tarot, I'm sorry, the Green Witch Tarot, which I love. This was one of the first decks that I had got because I saw the box and I fell in love with it. And I love the backs of these cards. And this is a well-loved deck as well. But this is not what I would call a Rider-Waite clone. I'm sorry, my dog's in the room with me making lots of noise. Itching himself. Stop it. Yes, I know. So, they changed some of the names on this deck, on some of the cards. And some of the scenery is completely different of what you're used to seeing in the Rider-Waite. So this isn't like I wouldn't recommend this as a beginner deck. But again, this video is about your style, choosing what works for you, what you like. I did like that they number these in English. You don't have Roman numerals. And then, you know, the title of the card. And you will find, guys, with some decks that they will not title the card, whether it be at the top or the bottom. What they will do is they will just put Roman numerals, and that is all you're going to get. Just a heads up. So look out for those decks. Make sure, like my recommendation would be, you know, let's say you go into your metaphysical shop, or you're shopping on Amazon or whatever, and you see a deck that appeals to you and you can't see the images. Google the deck and then look for a walkthrough. And then you have your mermaid type decks, which there are a million out there, guys. I mean, this is the Mermaid Tarot. This is a very adorable deck. Very, very adorable. I mean, some of the images are just really, really, they're so gorgeous and they're so flowy and strong. I like the whole under the water. Guys, I really do apologize that I didn't fix all of my cards before I started this video. I love the Emperor in this deck. So that is the Mermaid Tarot. And then I have one that I'm not sure any of you are familiar with, or I'm sure somebody is, but it's not something, it was made in 2008 by US Games. I'm not going to lie, I've never used this deck. I took it out when I bought it, and it was one of those decks that I really liked and I found to be cool. It was my first mermaid deck that I bought. It's called the Under the Sea Tarot. But I did not give it a chance. This came out long before the Mermaid Tarot. See the seahorses. It's actually got a very comic book feel to it. But I just didn't give it a chance. There's nothing wrong with this deck. It's beautiful. I just didn't give it a chance. And once I got the Mermaid Tarot, I quite liked that one better. Because this one was, I don't know. It just wasn't for me. Okay, so that is the Under the Sea Tarot. So these are mermaid themed decks here, guys. Now, the reason that I'm showing you all these different decks, that's not working out right now, is because these are different styles that you will find when looking for a tarot deck. This is the Fantastical Creatures Tarot. This is the backs. They're very, this is like a cream color, and this is like a, I guess like a gold. This is all like beautiful forest creatures, instead of it being Rider-Waite people. These are different, very, very different types of creatures, as you can see. Okay, so that's that deck. Then we have the Universal Celtic Tarot, which I received this year, as a matter of fact. I'm sorry, last year, 2019. I believe it came out in 2019. And this deck has the names down here. Has a lot of dragons and wood scenes. Some animal depictions in there, quite a bit. Because it's very nature-based, very earthy. One of my favorite empresses. I like this Ace of Cups a lot. This is awesome. So that was the Universal Celtic. So funny, some of my tarot bags are just like little zip-up wallets because it's so much easier. And some of them that go in bags like this I bought, and then I'll put a charm on it. They're pretty easy to put stuff away in, but some of the other stuff, trying to put it back in boxes and stuff is sometimes a pain in the ass. This is the Legrand Circus and Sideshow Tarot. This is another style of tarot depending on your taste. And this was made by Joe Lee, and I believe he was part of the circus. I love these backs. They got that old creepy clown face. And I just always think about these cards. Now these will have a number on the top, but some of them, like the knights, the court cards and stuff, are labeled. Some of them are not. They'll just have a number up here. But when you get to know the deck, sorry, let me get rid of these title cards. This is one of my favorite cards. Right? I love the moon card. Look at that pretzel, baby. King of Cups. They're really, really cute. They're really cool. The pictures are really illustrated. I just love them. The Tower, boom. I had one of my first psychic memories had to do with a circus when I was a kid. So I kind of just fell in love with this deck. I don't know. And I loved circuses too. I still love to take my kids to circuses, and they're like, Mom, we're getting a little old for that, but it's okay. My next 3 decks that I'm going to show you are decks that are a little on the, I don't want to say darker side, but they're like different. This one has a lot of Greek mythology. This one is one of my favorites, and it's the Apocalypsis Tarot. I edged it in gold and some red. I think there's red in there still. Anyway, comes with an extra card, the All Gifted. And that's based on the story of Pandora's Box. And it's got different cultures all through the deck. And one of them is Egyptian, which I'm very into. And there's some Vikings, like some Norse. There's a lot of protection symbolism. There's, see, this would be more the Norse or the Viking. There's a lot of different cultures in here. And I really love the imagery on these cards. Now, this would also be considered like that digital art. You can tell that people actually posed for these cards. So they're borderless. They're made by Eric C. Dunn. I think it's Kim Huggins. But some people don't like this kind of art. Others do. Others really, really connect with it. So it's all a matter of taste. So it's what you like. Okay, and then I have two more I'm going to show you. This one I would say is it's called the Tarot de la Nuit. The backs are really cool. Trying to not be too much in the light. Sorry, guys. I edged this in a purple. Okay. Anyway, these are really beautiful cards. I like the Ten of Wands. But they are a little bit of a darker style, darker theme. They're definitely different. I was waiting for like, I think, a year for these. I think this was the deck. Anyway, so that is the Tarot de la Nuit. And then the last one is the Tarot of Vampires. It's actually the Vampire's Tarot of Eternal Night, because there's several vampire decks. This is my favorite. The only thing is with this deck, this isn't a deck I would ever read for the public with, only because this would be something that people may get intimidated by. Because first, I love these backs. I mean, come on, right? But the imagery, some of it like this is really cool. And the way you know what it is, you'll get the number here, but if it's a court card, you're going to get a symbol like one of those knights' helmets or horse head or whatever. It's really cool. It's almost creepy and ghostly like. And some of it is really like, what's the movie I'm thinking of? The Priest, Salem's Lot kind of feel to it. And this deck to read for people would probably really scare them. So and that's not my goal. So I'm trying to find like some really, there's some pretty cool ones in here, but I'm trying to find one that's a little more graphic to show you that might, here we go. You see how the imagery might make somebody uncomfortable? Not me, because it's cool to me, but, you know, to somebody that's, especially people that get afraid of tarot, I mean, something like that would him turning into a bat, and there's quite a few of those. And then there's ones like that, you know, that's not going to really make people comfortable, so I would use this, I use it for myself. This guy looks like Bram Stoker's Dracula, right? But they have some werewolf guys, they have some really creepy cards, but I just like this deck. I just love that whole castle feel, you know? So anyway, that's some choices that you would have if you're searching for tarot decks, okay? Things that you could look up that gives you some ideas of some decks that maybe you'd be interested in, that maybe would captivate you. Maybe you like some of these decks. Maybe you hate them all. Maybe that's not your taste, but I have more that I can show you, and there's more all over the internet and lots of videos on just about any deck you can think of. So if you have any questions or you like the videos, give a like and subscribe for me and hit that little notification bell on the side. Okay? Thanks, guys. Have a good night.